this on?
Yes, Mama usually.
Where is this? Oh, it's right here. Oh, this one looks different because it has a
We
little.
put a little hat on it, but it's
Yeah.
still a little buzzy, but we'll see.
It's on, but it's buzzy.
It's a little buzzy, but people can hear at least.
Well, otherwise they can come over here.
They can hear. Yeah.
Yeah. They all know now. They know how to switch. Even the new ones, they go back and forth.
And some of them have both on.
Some of them have both on just in case something happens. Huh?
I should do that. If
Ah.
both were running, I would mute one so it's not echoing in the house. Because sometimes one sound goes down, something doesn't work.
Good thing we have to. We were wondering because when they offered us this other live stream, first I said I don't want because already this is there. Hard enough as if this is to manage for half the time. I said don't want. But actually it's turning out to be a big blessing because here you have to click more buttons to record and everything. This is automatic. Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanam Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we saw Sa Naha Shubhaya Buddhya Samyunaktu. May this Bhagavan give us good buddhi. What is good buddhi? We saw a buddhi that is free of raga dvesha, a buddhi that is available for the knowledge, a buddhi where all the, what is that called? The subjectivity is pratyastamitam, meaning what? It has set. The sun of subjectivity has set, on which that kind of buddhi, saha, naha, shubhaya, and also buddhi. The truth of every buddhi is what? What is in every buddhi? What is common in every buddhi? Don't say ignorance. Yeah, you already said it. Okay. Apart from that, what else is? I was a little too late. I was just a tiny bit late. So, what is there in every buddhi?
If it's not.
Yeah. What is there? Who is residing in the buddhi? What is buddhi? Bhagavan. So may this Bhagavan be united. May this buddhi, whose truth is Bhagavan, be united with its truth. Sanyunaktu, that united. Yunaktu means united, And Shubhaya Buddhya Sanyunaktu. And now what comes in the way of this buddhi uniting with Bhagavan? Tell me. Ignorance. Yeah. Let's change the topic. What comes in the way? Because of ignorance, what happens? Okay, rather. Yeah, ignorance, correct. Yeah, not wrong, correct. Because of ignorance, what happens? Yeah. And then, because of that, what kinds of blocks? What are the blocks that are there? Raga dveshas. Raga dveshas are there because of what?
Ignorance.
Now we are going in a cycle. Yeah, now we are going in a cycle. Why there is ignorance? Because of raga dvesha. Why is there raga dvesha? Because of ignorance. So, the raga dveshas are carried over from how many lives? Many lives. So, what is carried over from many lives? Along with
Papa and Punya.
karma phala. Like right now, the karma phala was blocking the answer. See, it's as plain as day. So, karma phala is blocking the answer. What is the answer? The answer is that the raga dveshas come from karma phala. And the karma phala stops me. It becomes a big way of getting alienated from the whole because of course the ignorance. Of course we are all talking because there is ignorance, but we are looking at ignorance from various standpoints. Now, right now we are looking at ignorance from the standpoint of what? That which needs to subject itself to knowledge in order to be lightened of this ignorance, and in order to repatriate itself, this buddhi, with the truth of the buddhi, the content of the buddhi, which is Bhagavan. And if that doesn't happen, we cannot say it's because of ignorance. It is of course because of ignorance. Plus, as I told you, avidya does not come by herself. She brings in a few things. Yeah, she brings grandchildren, papa punya, mostly papa. So therefore, the next two mantras are fervent, ardent, desperate prayers for this karma phala to not hurt me, and for this karma phala to not be a block in the knowledge, in the process of gaining the knowledge. So we won't chant it in the Upanishad tune. Since this already has the Upanishad tune, we'll chant it in the Rudram tune. Okay? Yeah, the Upanishad has been going like this, Yo devanam prabhavodbhavascha Vishwadhipo Rudro Maharshihi. Like that we have been chanting it. But this one we will not chant like that because it has its own tune which we will respect. Yate Rudra Shiva,
Yate Rudra Shiva,
Tanura Ghora Papakashini,
Ghora Papakashini,
Yate Rudra Shiva,
Yate Rudra Shiva,
Tanura Ghora Papakashini,
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 Tanura Ghora
that
Papakashini.
gha had to go down, it wasn't going down. Yeah. Tayanastanuva
Tayanastanuva
Shantamaya
Shantamaya
Tayanastanuva
Tayanastanuva
Shantamaya
Shantamaya
Girishanta
Girishanta
Abhichakashihi
Abhichakashihi
Girishanta Abhichakashihi
Girishanta Abhichakashihi
Girishanta Abhichakashihi
Girishanta Abhichakashihi
Yate Rudra Shiva
Yate Rudra Shiva
Tanura Ghora Papakashini
Tanura Ghora Papakashini
Tayanastanuva
Tayanastanuva
Shantamaya
Shantamaya
Girishantabhichakashihi
Girishanta Abhichakashihi.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful verse. Already Rudra was invoked from the beginning of this chapter, starting with verse number 2. Eko hi Rudraha na dvitiyaya tatsthuhu. How many Rudras there are? Oh, only one. Yeah. And who is this Rudra? Hanky Bhagavan. Yes, to all the crying jivas, keeps an endless supply of comforting hankies, wipes the tears, makes the tears run away. Rudanam rudantam dravayati, makes the tearful ones run away. makes the crying go away. First makes you cry. How? You know? How does Bhagavan make you cry? Bhagavan doesn't make you cry. Bhagavan doesn't make you cry. You know, when you open your own package that you had saved from last life, you cry. Bhagavan's guilt here, if Bhagavan is guilty, is only of gift wrapping it. That's all. Wrapping it in a particular parentage, wrapping it up, literally, wrapping it with a certain kind of a humor, little bit, you know, putting a certain, what is that? A trick, toy, sometimes, you know. You think it's a muffin and you eat it, but actually it is made of silicone, things like that. You keep chewing it and it is not really a cake. This is how some prank. So Bhagavan is a prankster in the sense that is what Bhagavan Krishna is, a prankster in the sense that karma phalas come back with a twist and karma phala come back with a gift wrap. You don't know when to expect it. You know, many happy returns, I told you. So each time when you celebrate the so-called birthday, what are you celebrating? Karma phala, that's all. That's why some wise one said many happy returns. Yes, some wise elder said many happy returns, meaning may the returns be not sad, may they be happy. This is exactly this mantra, many happy returns. This is mantra. So then karma phala, can it be avoided or not? No. But Bhagavan, being Bhagavan, can transform the karma phala. Ishate, Ishanibhihi, along with his assistants, this magic wand holder can go, you know, zoom, 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 you know, not the classroom, and zoom, 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 and then do what? Transform the contents of the package into something wonderful, you know. Yeah, and things like that happen, you know. For 3 days, like recently, what has happened to me, whenever I put my hands in the pocket, some money is coming out. Money I had never put there. Where it is coming from, we don't know. So like that, Bhagavan can do things, you know. Not a lot, don't get excited. $1, $2, $5, maybe like that. So whenever I put the hands in the pocket, money is coming out, you know. I don't know now, but no, that's just the keys. Yeah. Not now, but it happened. Even today it happened. I just put it there and came somehow. So like this, Bhagavan can do things, correct? And so money comes. So this wrong karma that has been packaged, and then Yama has put a red mark on it, you know, because it has Papa. Open carefully, Papa, contains Papa. Bomb, you know, will go off. He is said to detonate on this day in this person's life and throw up all over this person's life. And this is what it is designed to do. But I can implore Bhagavan, make it be a beautiful flower. Make it into a bunch of flowers. I can implore, correct? Yeah. And so this is a prayer of atonement, the next two. Atonement, where I take responsibility that my buddhi has not united with the truth of itself because of my own blocks, you know, my own head and the blocks in the head that have made me, you know, not see. I'm not going there. Yeah. So the problem is to get a piece of paper, you know. And then what do? You say, please, can I just have this piece of paper? Come tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow never comes. You go, but tomorrow hasn't come yet. So after 4-5 visits, what happens? You feel like a pressure cooker that has had accumulated too much steam. And then you go off right in front of that poor fellow, you know, who's keeping on, who you feel, who you are convinced is making you dance around in, you know, round and round. What do you want? Why can't you do this? Why can't you just give me this simple piece of paper? That's all I'm asking. It's a no objection certificate, and you are putting so many objections to a no objection certificate. Is he going to give you after this outburst? Definitely not. Correct? Yeah. So what does one have to, if one wants something, one has to ask nicely. Simple. This is simple. What is that? Common sense. So we extrapolate. It's not that Bhagavan won't listen if you ask desperately or meanly or badly. Bhagavan will listen. But I extrapolate from my own experience with my co-workers, with the people in my jagat, in my world, and know that benefits are to be gained and good things are to be reaped if niceness is extended. If I ask for it in a mean way or a wrong way, or I tick the other person off, the chances of getting what I want are zero. Correct? It's just like the child asking the mother for one more cookie. It will not at first throw a tantrum. It will reserve that for the end. In the beginning, it will ask very nicely. It will say, I never had the last cookie. It got stolen. This neighborhood is becoming very, bad. People are stealing cookies out of the hands of babies. Therefore, give me another cookie. Some very innovative ways. So too here, there are two things here. One is that there is an acknowledgement of my own agency in the previous karma, and then a petition. Literally, this is what it is. A petition to be removed, to be cut asunder from that karma. This is what it is. And then the karma will affect whom? The jnani or the ajnani? Ajnani. So, if the ajnani is affected by karma, so then the prayer has to be twofold. One is, please remove karma. Correct? And then, please make my mind ready for jnanam. Because really speaking, when the mind has jnanam, then I won't need the other prayer, please remove karma. When karma comes, I will endure. Because I know that it is not the body. I will endure it. It is not the mind, it is just the body. Even if the karma comes to the mind and the jnani has dementia, nothing is lost. Yeah, nothing is lost. Aham Brahmasmi, they may give a blank look, they may not remember, but they know it. There is a difference between knowing and remembering, because this knowledge is not based on memory, it's based on you. So when you approach Bhagavan, you are very nice and you take responsibility, accountability for karma done in the past. Even though you may not know what it is, you definitely know. This is starting to flash. 1 second. You definitely know what this. No, there is some flashing happening, and that's all. It's okay. It will just be. But even though you may not know what those karmas are, what do you see? What you see is that there are karmas, that much you know. Correct? Yeah. And those karmas, who is responsible? I am responsible. So therefore, I ask for those karmas to be alleviated. And then I make it into a collective prayer for efficacy, to make it more efficacious. If I am suffering from previous karmas, other people are also suffering from those very previous karmas. So please absolve all of us. While you are absolving me, what effort is it for you, the effortless one, to absolve the whole jagat? No problem. Please do that. And then we don't know which one to put first, because I'm taking these two in tandem together. These two mantras, the next one also I'm taking together. Because do I ask for the karmas to be lifted so that I can then focus on the knowledge? Or do I ask for the mind to be prepared for the knowledge and then ask for the karmas to be lifted? This is kind of a chicken and egg story. Some people might say, until at least some of the karmas are, take a back seat, rather than just keeping on being piled up on you. Until then, you cannot have knowledge. Why? Because the mind is not ready. Why is the mind not ready? Because I am lazy. Why are you lazy? Because I don't have samadhama, etc. So cultivate it, Well, although it is true that I cultivate it, but there is an element that seems to be out of my control. You know, I keep the alarm, it wakes up, I don't. You know, alarm wakes up. And even though the alarm has a snooze button, I snooze, alarm wakes up. This is the problem. So therefore there seems to be an element out of my control. The addiction to samsara is an addiction that is out of my control. The addiction to things, people and all my habits is an addiction that is out of my control. The addiction to not focusing on myself and distracting myself in everybody and everything else is out of my control. And I want to attend the classes, but despite my best efforts, what happens? It feels as though it is out of control. I go with every intention, but something happens and it is out of my control. So what to do now? So therefore, I need to pray for the karmas to be lifted so that I can have a mind that is free to study. That could be one interpretation. That is the chicken and egg story I told you, you know. But then, why will I pray for this unless and until I know that this is something that I really want? This Shubhaya Buddhya Sanyunaktu. May I be united with the truth of myself. That is what I want. So what should come first? May the mind be prepared. Prepare my mind for knowledge, O Bhagavan. So that I can revere and revel in the words of the Shruti. In every word of the teaching, I have darshan of you. O Rudra, you are there in all the words of the Shruti. And then whatever other blocks are there, physical, mental, emotional, remove them. Do you see both the ways you can go? Yeah. So here it goes this way. First prepare the mind and then remove the blocks to the knowledge. So that is what we'll see now, starting now. So, Ya te, O Rudra, vocative, you know, O Rudra, Ya te Shiva Tanuhu Aghora Apapakashini Taya Tanuva Taya Shantamaya Tanuva Nah Abhichakashihi He Girishanta He Rudra. That is the Anvaya. O Rudra. O Rudra is Bhagavan who gives karma phala. And then what? Ya te, that Ya is feminine, that which is Shiva. Shiva means what? Most auspicious. Shiva. What is this feminine thing that is most auspicious? Tanuhu. Tanuhu means your person, your body. The body of Bhagavan is most auspicious. Why? Because it is the whole, everything that has name and form is Bhagavan. So in fact there is nothing inauspicious. Because if the body of Bhagavan is auspicious, and anything that has name and anything that has form has the presence of Ishvara, that means even the most quote-unquote inauspicious thing is auspicious. There is no dyad of auspicious and inauspicious. All there is auspicious. There is nothing inauspicious or suspicious. All there is auspicious alone. Shiva Tanuhu. Wherever I see your auspicious form. Wherever I look, yatra yatra mano yati, tatra tatra te tava Shiva Tanuhu. Wherever I see your, te means yours, te tava, your auspicious form, your body. And also hidden in this and continuing with Ishate Ishanibhi, the material cause is feminine. So the body of Bhagavan is feminine. Beautiful. So I see this goddess body, God body everywhere. Wherever the eye spies, it sees Bhagavan. And that which comprises the entire universe and transcends it also. It's not just comprising, it's not that Bhagavan has descended to become the universe. No. Bhagavan is Bhagavan, and everything that has name and form also has the presence of Bhagavan. This is how to look at it. So that which is the truth of all names and forms and whose essential nature transcends the names and forms. Your body. What is your body? Satya Jnana Nanda Shariri. Yeah, so you have two bodies. Really. Tatastha body and Swarupa body. Beautiful. What is Tatastha body? Everything that has name and form is you. So in every flower, I see your power. In every, in everything, in every tree, in every blade of grass, in every clod of earth, in the stars, in the sky, in the ocean that shouts, that roars, as it were your name, in the birds that fly in a line spelling your name, in the mountains that are so high, in the sun, in the sky, in everything that is seen and everything that is unseen, Sukshma. Everywhere that you are there, everywhere you are. Where are you not? In the eagle that flies, you are there. In the small little spider that is crawling across the room, you are there. Because where will I go to see eagle? Already endangered. So, but Bhagavan is not endangered. Why? Because Bhagavan's body is much more than one particular species. Everything is, everywhere is your body. And this is a feminine body because it is, what is that? Upadana karanatvat. Upadana karanam asti. Upadanam means what? The material. It constitutes the material which I call the Jagat. It constitutes all that is there, all the elements, all the things that are carbon, everything. The electrical force, the magnetic force, the forces, all those is the materials with which this universe has been made. The galaxies, the stars comprise your body. That's why in the Purusha Sukta it is said the sun and moon are your eyes. What else? Those things that help us see, those celestials that help us see are you alone. And so everything that is there is the body. And then you also have another body. A body that is ananga, a disembodied as it were body. Ananga, no anga. Angam, angaha na vidyate yasya. Ananga, that is the name of Shiva. Ananga, bodiless body. And what is this body which has no body? Bodiless is Satya Jnana Nanda Shariri. Khelati mama hridaye Ramaha. Khelati mama hridaye. In that song this comes. Shanti videha sutta sahachari Daharayodhya nagara vihari Moha maharnavataraka. Next stanza. Anyway, this is where it comes. Ragadvesha mukasuramari Satya Jnana Nanda Shariri. Your body is just a body which is comprising Sat Chit Ananda. That body which is invisible to me because it is myself alone. It is the truth of myself alone. It is a conscious, sentient presence which is ever joyful because it is unlimited, limitless, infinite. This is another aspect of Bhagavan's body. So, yate tanuhu. Either way you look at it, it's auspicious. Is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Satchidananda, is it auspicious or inauspicious? Auspicious. Why? Because it's my very nature. But how come I can't say it is an inauspicious nature Well, you can, but it will not be correct because that's what you want to be. What do you want to be? Auspicious. What do you crave to be? Auspicious. You want auspiciousness and you want to be auspicious, so that's what we say. You are already what you seek. So this auspicious body, so either way you look at it, it's auspicious. Every name and form is blessed by you, blessed by Satchidananda in the form of the material body of the universe, which is non-separate from Bhagavan. Yato va imani bhutani jayante ye na jatani jivanti yat prayanti abhisam vishanti ti. Yeah, auspicious. This is auspicious, from which every being has come, from which all beings and elements are sustained, in which everything resolves. All the cases are, by, from, in. Everything is gone. That which is free of all cases, free of doership, free of enjoyership. That Atma, that Brahman which is you, which is everything, which is auspicious. Shiva Tanuhu, whose body is just endlessly, limitlessly auspicious. How can you give wrong karma to me? So what does the Papa Punya make? What is what if everything is Bhagavan, then Papa is what? Auspicious. Papa is also Bhagavan. There is no inauspicious Papa. Correct? That is where this is going. So really, this atonement prayer is more to alter the vision. Because in my mind, there is always a dyad, good and bad, wrong and right, existent and not so existent, so many things. Satyam, asat, sat and asat, like these, what is that, these worldly divisions, the samsaric divisions that have entrenched, the grooves in the mind, are not enabling me to see the truth of who you are, which is the truth of who I am. So I change all that by addressing you as Hey Rudra. Yate Tanuhu Shiva, whose body is just an embodiment of auspiciousness. Shiva means auspicious. Shiva Tanuhu. And then what else? Hey Girishanta. Girishanta. Girishanta means Giri. Vachi. Vachi means in the speech. Sham Tanoti iti Girishanta. Through the speech, in the speech, the one who gives Sham. What is Sham? Blessing, more auspiciousness. One who is in the form of speech, that is all auspicious. Tanoti, spreads auspiciousness, hands out auspiciousness like candy. Yes, through the words. What are the words that are the most auspicious? Words of the Shruti. Words of the Shruti are the most auspicious. Why? Because they liberate this fellow who thinks I am bound and frees the person from this ocean of bondage, which is really a notion of bondage. And so those words are the most auspicious. So you are those words. Girishantamaya, Swarthe Mayat. The Maya is in its own right. You are yourself the embodiment of auspiciousness. You who abide in the words of the Shruti. Which words? The ones I am reading right now. So what I am reading is also auspiciousness. Who is reading is the auspicious one. And the one unto whom this prayer is directed is the auspicious one. And how many auspicious are there? One. And that one is being talked about here as all source of auspiciousness, all auspiciousness. So the words of the Shruti are auspicious. Sham Tanoti. You go about spreading the words of auspiciousness through the Upanishadic statements. Not just Mahavakyas, but every Vakya is auspicious. So when I open the book to read, I find you whose body. So this is your body. So now we have the third form of your body. What was the first form? The first form is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Satchidananda body, your essential nature that is unswerving from that limitless consciousness, sentience consciousness, from whom the knower known dyad is evolves, which is neither the knower nor the known, which transcends both. And then from another standpoint, the same body is the material from which this Jagat has been woven, this Mithya Jagat, which is really the fibers. The fabric of this Jagat is you alone, your body. And the third body is what? Girishantamaya. What is this Girishanta? Girishanta, you whose body is nothing but crafted through the words of the Upanishad, comprise your body. See how many things, just with one body. So many ways of looking at this body. Hey Girishanta. Hey Rudra. Taya, with that. Naha, Tanuva, with these bodies, with these threefold bodies. Don't say Sukshma, Sthula and Karana, that would be not correct. With these threefold bodies. And what kind of body? Shantamaya. Shantamaya, which is the source of auspiciousness again. Sham tanoti iti Shantamaya. Joyous bodies, happy bodies, beautiful body. And then, Taya Tanuva, through that body. Which kind of body? Shantamaya body. Naha. Naha means us. Unto us. Make us what? Abhijakashihi. From Chakastra Deeptau. In the sense of lighting up. You are the one that lights up my body, our bodies. Collective prayer. Our bodies include our minds. Yeah. Naha abhijakashi. Light me up. Meaning you are already lighting me up. Light me up further to know this light as your light, as my light. As my light, as your light, whichever way you want to see. You are already lighting me up. I am like a Christmas bulb and you are the light. I am this little jiva like a Christmas bulb, but the electricity is coming from this plug. Correct? All the jivas are lighting up this Jagat called the Christmas tree. But the electricity is one and the same that is running through. Make this dense mind understand that you are indeed lighting me up. Not only should I see that, but I should also see that light which is lighting me up is nothing but me, which is nothing but you. But there is only one light, there is no you that is lighting me up, there is no you and me. Erase this you and me. For that I beg of one more light. Light up this stupid mind that refuses to see this truth. So many lights, like so many auspiciousness, correct? Yeah. Enlighten this stupid mind to see these lights, this self-shining light. Abhijakashihi means this self-shining light that really casts what? Casts the light, puts everything in perspective, powers this body, mind, sense complex. Your body, which is your body of light. What light? That all revealing light lights up this body, mind, sense complex. Not only that, do me a little more favor, light up this mind also so that it becomes prepared to see this. Prepare me for knowledge. Abhijakashihi means prepare me for knowledge. By showing that I am the witness of this light. By bringing out the witness from this clueless, witless, witless one which is attached to this stupid buddhi mired in the tamas of ignorance. How beautiful this can be. How nice. And Abhichakashihi should instantly recall, the Mundaka Vakya. Which is the Mundaka Vakya? Dva Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya Samani Vrikshe Parishaspa Jate Tayoranyah Pippalam Swaduvati Anashnan Anyo Bhichakashiti. Bhichakashiti. Anashnan, one of them, two birds sitting on the same branch, the greatest of friends, having shining wings. One of them is a berry hunter. Gets very, very restless if it doesn't have the berries. And what does it do? Hop up and down and get addicted to the berries. And its poor thing is not addicted to bitter berries. It wants only sweet berries. But just like Betty. Who is Betty?
She wants a bit of
this Betty here wants a bit of berry. And the bit of berry is bitter, sour, astringent, anything but sweet. So it has another berry to make the bitter berry very, very nice, very, very sweet, very, very succulent. It's hope, but it never gets its hope. It gets a little fleeting sweetness, and after that it's back to its, addiction, very addiction. And the other one shines the gentle light of witnessing. The other bird is just the same Ishvara bird here, Ishvara here. That other bird is Ishvara. There is no two, actually there is one and the other one is the shadow. But from the standpoint of the jiva there are two because of the alienation and the non-understanding. So therefore it is seen as two. Sometime we should do the whole Rudram. So beautiful. Yeah, we will do that. It will be very nice. So this such a nice thing is that there are no two birds. There is only one bird. But out because of that ignorance, there is that split between the jiva and Paramatma. Jiva and buddhi, its own buddhi, it doesn't understand the truth of this buddhi. So it is split between the doer and the seer, the doer and the knower. And then, so the knower here, the truth of the knower, rather the content of the knower, the witness, is shining the gentle light to see, to bring this addiction to light. Yeah. And here also, Abhichakashihi means please shine the light in the form of my own witness, so that I can see in what ways the mind is amiss. I can see how I can repair my mind. What is repair? Prepare. That's all. How I can repair this broken mind, broken by the weight of all kinds of grudges and ragas, dveshas, crumbling down, upset, fearful, tearful mind. How can I prepare it to see that it is nothing? To see all these bodies, your glorious bodies that you have, including this body which is the Upanishad, which is showing me the other two bodies. Upanishad is the first body of Rudra, of this Shiva. The Upanishad in the form of Shantamaya words, in the form of blessing words. Shantamaya is blessing. So in the form of blessing words that are enlightening me to the existence and to the form and the truth of the other two bodies. Which other two? Satyajnananda Shariri, and the Sharira, which is just composed of everything in this universe, is your body alone. Both those bodies, Tatastha and Swarupa. And the words and these words, your own body in the form of these words, is enlightening my mind to the existence of the other two bodies, is filling my mind with light, so much so that I understand that this light alone is powering me. That light which is powering your body is the same light which is empowering this body. Please do me the favor and tell this to this stupid mind that seems to still be sitting in the darkness despite this wonderful thing. Yeah. So Naha Abhichakashihi, protect me from this, from my own mind, which is engulfed in tamas. Engulfed. See, to say this every morning is such a blessing. Such a blessing. Amazing. It is just an amazing prayer. This is just a appetizer. This is so amazing. So, please bless me. And then, Naha Abhi, bless me, no, us. Bless us by all your bodies. Bless me by first by your body, which is in the form of the words of the Upanishad, so that I can understand. Then bless me to see this twofold, from the twofold standpoint, these two vast bodies, whose truth is myself alone. Yes, the Tatastha and the Swarupa. And my Swarupa is that alone, which is your Swarupa. There is no difference at the level of Swarupa. Help me, enlighten this mind a little further, enlighten these minds a little further, so we are able to bask in this wonderful glow. And hey, Shantamaya means the blessing, which is a source of blessing. Tanuva, through this body, third case, Shantamaya, and then Girishanta. Girishanta, the one who reveals, the one who is existent and a source of blessing through the words of the Shruti, and the one who reveals the truth of the words of the Shruti, the truth of all bodies through the words of the Shruti. And then Girishanta also means the one who is in the form of the words of the Shruti, who disseminates the words of the Shruti. How? Through the teacher, of course, through the mouths of all the teachers, all the gurus in the lineage. So, O Satya Rudra, help me, help me to understand this, help us to prepare this mind. And then, next one, Yamishum Girishantahaste Bibharsyastabe Shivam Giritratam Kurumahi Gumsi Purushan Jagat Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Would you say all things are equally auspicious? Say Vedanta and tennis.
Vedanta and tennis.
Yes.
No, they are auspicious. But it's not that. See, from the standpoint from which we are looking at, everything is Bhagavan. Everything is auspicious. But then we have already seen the most auspicious buddhi. When the buddhi is lit by that understanding of what is the most auspicious, it is the truth of what the tennis stands for and what the words of Vedanta stand for. They are one and the same. What one seeks through tennis is that thrill, going for the victory, the winning. And what Vedanta says is you are already a winner without needing to play tennis. Save your elbow. Yeah.
So if it's most auspicious, would that make it more auspicious than tennis?
No, it's not the question. See, from the standpoint of the Jagat being Brahman, the words of Vedanta are what? Aparavidya. Aparavidya. Words of Vedanta. We are not talking the words, but what happens when you hear the words. The most auspicious is the hearer, the knower of the tennis, and the content of the knower of Vedanta. That is the most auspicious.
Okay.
Ah,
You got me.
that is what it is. That's really the truth. You are it. Yeah. No tag in Vedanta because you are it.